Good early Monday morning to you. It's about almost 2 o'clock in the morning on the 8th of January here, 2018. And we are tracking a tricky weather system out there to the west, out in here right now. Look at the IR satellite. Here is the system, the disturbance moving across the deep south. There has been some reports of some freezing rain across northern Alabama and probably even eastern Mississippi. I believe I saw another one there right near the border as this area is starting to push across the deep south, including Atlanta and Georgia. And I did see on the radar that there is a little bit of frozen precipitation just to the south of Atlanta. And it's not even 2 o'clock in the morning yet here early on the 8th, which makes me have some concerns, especially here over North Carolina and upstate South Carolina, the mountains, western Virginia, and kind of like at an angle up through D.C. and up into Philly and even parts of South Jersey there, northern Delaware, as this could be a pretty significant event. As we can already see, some of the clouds are starting to pop up out ahead of the disturbance here, which tells me that it's going to be a very light mist or freezing drizzle at first, maybe even before 9 a.m., it could be a little bit earlier than that now. They were saying, and when I say they, I mean the National Weather Service, anytime between 9 a.m. and 2 o'clock p.m., which would really kind of stink because I work as an IT tech. I'm a meteorologist, but I have to be at work at 2 tomorrow, and I hope that I am able to make it there without any major problems. We can hope so anyway. Looking at the current radar right now, the last image here is probably about 30 minutes old or so. The last image right there was 0630, so that translates to 1:30 p.m. Yeah, 20 minutes or so, not that bad. Here is the edge, leading edge of the frozen precipitation falling, which is going to be some freezing drizzle and freezing rain. If you notice this in the pink here, that's what this is. You can refer to the scale at the bottom there for the legend of the type of precipitation. But it doesn't pick up on the very light stuff. Notice these little specks of colored precipitation here. This is where the danger zones are going to start to be, especially as we head into the overnight, late night, early morning hours into the morning hours here on the 8th and Monday. So very, very slick possibilities across Atlanta, 85 up into the upstate of South Carolina and in North Carolina as well. I'm thinking that anywhere west of 85 interstate could have the issues here, and then as it goes in this part of North Carolina to the north and the west, and that's what I'm thinking as far as any type of ice or freezing rain. As we are looking at a wide area of winter weather advisories, all the way down from Georgia up into Pennsylvania and even western Pennsylvania, including the D.C. metro area and Philadelphia as well. This could be a very nasty Monday. So just pay attention to the weather. If anything starts to get bad, the first thing to do is not to panic, because if everybody goes out on the roads, it's going to be traffic nightmares, and there's going to be a lot of accidents tying up the roads and people being stuck on the interstates here. So be very careful. Power outages are probably going to be likely here across much of southeastern Pennsylvania. And Berks County, maybe up even the Schuylkill County up there in Pennsylvania, Lancaster, and also the city even is in on this winter weather advisory. The Schuylkill Expressway, 476, that could all be very slick. And it looks like this could even make its way down to Ocean City, Maryland. Not totally out of the woods there if you live there, or even on the Jersey Shore, just like the TV series. Anyway, looking here across the western North Carolina mountains and the foothills, very dangerous situation shaping up west of Charlotte, just west of Uptown, up into Greensboro, going to be in on the action, Greenville, South Carolina. And I believe it starts with an A, Augusta, if that's in this area here of Georgia, in on it too, all the way up into Ohio River Valley, including Cleveland. They're going to be in on this next threat too. Let's take a look at the models here in the short range and see what we can expect. But first of all, we're going to take a look at the temperatures. We were looking at these at the very beginning of the video. Right now, it's 22 degrees in Charlotte, 31 in the ATL. We got a balmy 67 degrees down there in Miami. If you don't like ice and snow, this is where it's supposed to be. Or even go to Disney World in Orlando this time of year. You'll get away from all this stuff up there. But, I mean, it has snowed in northern Florida. So we're looking at the 30s here and the 20s as we go up into the Carolinas, and the 20s and 20 degrees there in Roanoke and western Virginia. And the thing is that as the rain creeps eastward, it's going to be bringing a little bit warmer air with it, more mild air, with some higher moisture content, although it's very dry. These are the dew points right now, and this is very concerning because there's going to be a lot of evaporative cooling, which means that anything that falls is going to have a very easy time of freezing. Because ice likes to form without a lot of impurities, and the drier the air is, the less stuff there is in the air and the less impurities, easier for ice to form. So I am really, really concerned about this area up in here, even Atlanta, all the way up in here. Even though it's bringing warmer temperatures with it, it's only going to be up in the 30s or so as we head into 7 a.m., so that's if it starts raining or freezing drizzle, that's going to be some very bad news for us across here. Now, freezing rain is not frozen rain. Don't think of it that way. Think of it as regular plain old rain, and think of it as regular plain old light drizzle. Light drizzle is going to be the consistency of freezing rain. It's not going to be heavy. There's no such thing as heavy freezing rain. It's not going to be downpours of it like buckets. It's going to be a very fine mist or a drizzle, something very light, very hard to notice it, almost unnoticeable, unless it's pretty moderate drizzle, which you'll get wet, but everything will be frozen. So if you don't see it doing anything outside, that doesn't mean much. That means that it could be getting nasty really quick. So anyway, let's go on to the models here across the eastern part, the east coast of the United States here. Let's take it into the nowcast going across the southeast here. And actually, let me bring up the type of precipitation that we're going to be looking at into the wee hours of the morning. So there's the freezing line right there, this crazy looking red line. And here comes the ice mix. You can see it in there as well. Now, this model likes to have the precipitation type as rain. But what's concerning to me and what this is giving an ice storm signal is the fact that there is going to be some very light precipitation over here of the mountains. This area could be absolutely devastated by Tuesday or so with power outages. I mean, this is not looking very friendly at all. This is all through the day on Monday. If you ask me, I don't like the looks of this because it's just going to be a very light, misty rain over very cold ground. Think about how cold it's been, how cold the ground and sidewalks and roads get, and then you get this stuff on top of them. That's what we're going to have to watch out for, and that's going to be valid all the way up into Philadelphia and Pennsylvania, as they're going to be in on this too. Everybody stay safe, have a good time. Thanks for checking this website. I will pop through this website as much as possible. I like to have the website and the blog more than I do on Facebook because you can get pretty much anybody with a pulse that can go on Facebook. Yes, they can go on your site too, but they're not as free to roam around, I guess you could say, as they do on your Facebook post. So anyway, thanks a lot for following. I'll catch you later. Meteorologist Mike Griffith for East Coast Weather Authority. Have a good one.